Hello guys, we are on the way to Ulta so I can get the makeup palette I've been wanting. If you remember from the Instagram part 1 video, I had the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill mini palettes, but I'm going to get the big one, and then we're going to do a little makeup session with conspiracy theories, and I'm very excited. I'll see you in a minute. Somebody's getting their first pup cup. It's gracious. What? Can I get a tall pumpkin spice frappuccino?
Yeah, of course. A tall pumpkin spice frappuccino. I got you. What else?
And that's it. Oh, I'm sorry. And can I get a pup cup too?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. Who's that? My buddy. Oh, look at your little pup cup. We gotta wait till we part. Okay, you can have some now. That's okay. Oh my goodness. So good. Hey buddy, let's take a break for a sec. Look at that little whipped cream face. Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
You too. All right, Mr. Mad, we're gonna go back. So we have a little escape artist. I like pumpkin stuff, but like I like apple cider more. Like hot apple cider would be so good right now, but I figured I'd try a pumpkin spice frappuccino. I love the way the whipped cream is like coming out of this right now. It tastes like a pumpkin pie. It's actually pretty dang good. I should have got something hot because it's kind of cold, but whatever. All right, before we get started, I wanted to open this package with you guys. It's from L&E Scent Company. It's a small business on Etsy, so let's see what's inside. I haven't opened it yet completely. So there's a little thank you card thing right here. It's got Smarties in it and matches. How cute is that? Here's their logo. Oh, and she sent wax melts. That smells so good. Kind of like syrup. Here's what I ordered. So I love the Paris Cafe candle from Bath & Body Works, and it's like not there anymore. So I ordered a coffee candle from her. And it's how cute is this? I love the smell of coffee so much. That's why I love the Paris Cafe candle, and so I'm so happy to have found another coffee candle so my house smells like Starbucks all the time. Let's light it. Okay, so before we start, we'll do a little haul of everything. This one's like a pretty natural color, and I got one from my best friend too, because look how cute. Some lashes, and then the palette. I am so excited. I've been using the mini for years. Okay, let me bring you in a little unnecessarily close to my no makeup face. So I'm gonna be doing these like alphabetically as we use the product. Let me start off by saying that these are conspiracy theories. I'm not saying that they're a fact at all. This is just an interesting topic, and I hope you enjoy it. So we're starting with foundation, so F, which means we're gonna talk about fluoride. The first instance of fluoride being put into the water in the US was in 1945 in Grand Rapids, Michigan. They say that the benefits are to reduce cavities and keep your teeth strong, but there is evidence against this. Too much fluoride can lead to dental fluorosis, which can damage bones and joints. It can lead to weak bones or fractures in adults. And by them wanting to protect our teeth and putting fluoride in the water for that reason, it doesn't make sense, because if you have too much, you get white or brown streaks on your teeth. It can create pits in your teeth or even break the enamel. It can impact young children and their brain, which is super scary. Exposure to fluoride before birth can lead to cognitive outcomes in the future when the baby is born. So if you are pregnant. Okay, now we're going in with concealer. So we're gonna talk about chemtrails. So a lot of people believe that when a plane flies overhead and you see the white streaks behind it, those are chemicals that the government is like leaking into the air. So it's water condensation that's happening. But some people believe that it's like a toxic mix of aluminum or like chemicals to make us sick and things like that. That one's pretty wild, but I mean, kind of scary. Now we're gonna go in with setting powder. So we're gonna talk about celebrity shipping. And I don't mean like fanfics on Wattpad, right? I'm talking about like the people that truly believe that they're in a relationship with a celebrity. This is primarily a woman-driven thing. Some women believe that they are actually pregnant and they will convince themselves that they're pregnant with like Harry Styles' baby. And there was one instance I saw on Dr. Phil of a girl who fully believed that Eminem was her dad. And it didn't matter what DNA test said, she was completely convinced that her father was Eminem. Now I follow quite a few fandoms, so I get the whole fangirl thing, right? But if you are convinced that you are pregnant by someone you've never met, I don't know. Candle update, it smells so good. We're on to brows now, so we're obviously going to be talking about how the birds aren't real, right? That's the only logical thing to do right now. The theory is that birds were real until the 50s when the US government killed them all in the 20th century and replaced them with drones. This one's just funny because, I mean, obviously the birds aren't real. Look at them. The birds work for the bourgeoisie. And if the birds weren't real and they were drones, right? Just think about the amount of birds you see outside, right? And imagine that some FBI agent is having to watch the film from the birds, like the millions of birds, right? It would be too much. No, there's not enough people in the world to watch all the footage for whatever they're using the footage for, or maybe they're like laser birds, I don't know. We're moving on to eyeshadow, so we're gonna get this beautiful palette out. Okay, for eyeshadow, we're going to be talking about the electric car conspiracy theory. Now, gas prices haven't broke $4 in 14 years until recently, right? And all of a sudden, electric cars are like everywhere. I have one even, so it's a little creepy, right? The theory is that the government is raising gas prices so that everyone will buy an electric car. There's so many perks to owning an electric car, right? So where I live, I get free charging from midnight to 6 a.m. and that is such an awesome perk. But once everyone switches over to electric, will they continue to do that? Probably not. So the theory is that whenever everyone gets electric cars, all of a sudden, they're gonna start upping our electric prices. And it's really not far-fetched to think about the government wanting to get everybody on one certain thing, right? Because they can get more money, because it's all about control, right? Hypothetically. And someone had said something online about that they could freeze them, right? But let's just be honest. If they want to freeze your car, they will. Like whoever, like if there was like a threat on the nation and they sent out I'm gonna put it right here so I don't mess up saying it. But if they sent out this, our phones, our cars, like not even just like a newer, like every car has a computer and your car would not work. That's what freaks me out, is if anything were to ever happen, we would own everyone, unless you had like a running car from like the 80s or before, like your car is not going to work and we'll just be sitting ducks. And that is so creepy. I mean, it would just be like a wasteland at that point because none of us know how to function without vehicles anymore, without our phones constantly in our hands, right? Life as we know it will be completely different, and they would have to go back to old school communications, which I guess our military does already have that. So that's a good thing, but what about the people, you know? What about us needing to know what's going on? And we're eventually gonna need to find a better way to have electricity, like nuclear. And I think the reason we don't have nuclear is because of like what happened in Chernobyl, things like that. People are terrified of it, but it is like the cleanest way to produce energy, right? Because like solar power is great for a house, but what about an entire city, you know? Okay, pumpkin spice, let's talk about this conspiracy theory. Why is it this much freaking whipped cream? And like that was up here, right? But like, why do they give us 90% whipped cream? And like whenever you get like an ice drink, which I like it to get iced caramel macchiatos like all the time, I always ask for light ice, because if not, you're just paying for literal ice. Our next e-conspiracy is about Disney's Encanto. So we all know that Mirabelle doesn't have powers. Reddit user RM Beauty suggests that Mirabelle does have powers, and it's the gift of opening people's eyes, which makes sense, right? But let's just talk about her abuela for a minute, because I don't think there should have been a redemption arc with her at all. I feel like she was cruel to Mirabelle, and when she opened the eyes of everyone else, they were kind and nice, right? Even her sister deserves redemption, right? She's always expected to be perfect, and that is a hard thing to live up to, right? But the abuela knew better. I mean, Mirabelle's a teenager. She shouldn't have been treated that way. Reddit user Haiti Blackstone suggests that members' gifts were just an extension of their personal struggles. And that one is really interesting to me. Julietta can't say no to everyone who needs help. Okay, the fallout from the eyeshadow is making it look like I have like some serious bags, so we're gonna try to fix that. Because my goodness, I was probably talking and not tapping like I should have been. But I mean, I love that movie, so I'm not like hating on it. I'm just saying that I usually love like the messages Disney gives, and the movie was great, right? But I just think that there are some people that can't be redeemed, or at least have a harder redemption. It shouldn't just be immediate forgiveness, because it teaches kids to be okay with getting treated like that, because love and forgiveness is the key. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just simply stepping away from the toxic family member. So I didn't really enjoy that part of the movie, but I think everything else was really good. Okay, for mascara, we're gonna go into a little makeup conspiracy. So during the Victorian era and post-Civil War era, a lot of women used arsenic products. Paler skin was really sought after back then, and people would do absolutely anything to get it. I'm gonna put up a picture of an ad for arsenic lotion right here, and it says totally safe. And these women would develop sores on their skin, on their faces, right? Open wounds, and they would keep covering these wounds with arsenic. They knew it was doing it to them, but they wanted to obtain those beauty standards so bad that they were willing to try anything. There was something called an arsenic wafer, which you actually ingested into your body to lighten your complexion, which is just mind-boggling to me. Eyeshadows often contain mercury and lead, and it just makes you wonder, you know, what now are we using on our bodies that is not safe in the long run? Because then it was at least a short period of time before they realized, oh, this is bad. But even like baby powder was a recent thing that was shown to cause cancer, right? And like, so setting powders, you know, the talc in them. The one I have doesn't have talc, but some of them still may, who knows? It's very crazy. And when some women would get the sores from the arsenic, they would put lead in them to treat it, which would lead to death. Like, it's just mind-blowing. Okay, like this right here. Women and men in the 1800s and early 1900s used toxic metals. And like, we see that and we're like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy, that's so stupid. Why wouldn't they know better? But then look at our stuff. Parabens, talcum powder, formaldehyde, lead, coal tar, and that's in our current beauty products. I try to buy, you know, products that have the least amount of chemicals in them. I think everyone tries to do that. But at the end of the day, who knows what's in our makeup? We moved on to plastic surgery and things like that, right? And Botox, not judging anyone who uses it at all, but Botox is a neurotoxic protein, and use of that can cause death or respiratory failure. But everyone is getting Botox, right? 6 million Botox treatments are reported every year. That's a lot of people getting Botox. And how long until we start seeing effects from that? There's a theory that it's linked to autoimmune disease, Botox. And I saw something the other day, and I'll put it right here, about breast implants that are now making people extremely sick. You know, they say change them every 10 years, but it's expensive, right? So is everyone, if nothing's going on, do you think, oh, I'm just gonna leave them be, right? And then they get moldy. They need to be using better products in our bodies, and they need to be offering aftercare. So when you pay in the first place, there's a set time and date for you to come back in the future and get them changed out. This one woman was so sick that she almost died from her breast implant because when the surgeon put it in, one of them had an impurity in it. So it molded over the course of 10 years in her body. Okay, for setting spray, we're gonna do SpongeBob, something a little lighter. So there's a theory that Mr. Krabs adopted Pearl after her parents were killed by whalers, because obviously she's not a crab, right? And there are so many SpongeBob theories that I honestly could do an entire video on it. Like that the main characters are the 7 deadly sins. and that Krabby Patties are made from actual crab meat, which if you think about it, Mr. Krabs would be a cannibal. Spoiler alert if you have not seen the final season of Stranger Things, okay? Next step is lipstick, and we've got the Stranger Things. Here it is again so you can see. And this theory is gonna be about Eddie Munson and how our sweet boy could still be alive because I cried. So Eddie got attacked by bats, right? Like he's now a vampire. But the issue with this is that is he gonna be a good vampire or a bad vampire? Because the upside down changes people. So I guess we're gonna have to wait like 2 years to find out. Okay, I'm gonna add in my lashes and do my hair, and I'll be right back. Thank you so much for tuning into this Get Ready With Me conspiracy videos. I know they were kind of all over the place, but I love conspiracy theory videos. So if you want more, just make sure to comment below and like and subscribe, please. Bye.